Alrighty, y'all. Now, I usually say, good morning, y'all. I'm fresh out of bed to do this and that. Well, we're not doing that tonight. It's actually 1 o'clock in the morning. It's a Wednesday night, and I suppose I've been a little wound up because we had earlier this evening we had Nick's chat straight into the only television show I watch, Survivor, and then Rez reads. Rez, my girl, started her live chat a little early. She started at about 10:30. And just fired up. Now here we are, 1 o'clock in the morning. And I'm going to continue with my September the 11th saga. Got my folder here, got my itinerary in it and all that. But I know what we did. I left off the last time with that hilarious story of Debbie dropping the bottle of liquor and it spinning out across the floor and all that, and well, I don't want to say I slept good that night, but I slept as well as I possibly could. Got up the next morning, Thursday, September the 13th. We had breakfast in the hotel. Really not trying to gloss over anything here. My memory is not not remembering anything particularly, outrageous or memorable about breakfast in the hotel. But we were headed for the Cleveland Zoo. All right. It was a nice morning. The sun was shining. Everything was really terrific. And I was actually looking forward to going to the zoo. And I have plenty of visuals of it, the place was, half deserted. The way most of Cleveland was while we were there the week of September the 11th, 2001. Our membership had terrific fun at the zoo. I even had a little bit of fun at the zoo, and I will say, because we kind of just marched everyone through it. I don't want to say we marched them like it was some kind of military drill, but we made our way through the zoo as groups, and there weren't any major distractions or membership meltdowns or anything like that. I might even declare it was the most kind of calm and serene activity of the entire trip. Again, I don't have any just crazy memorable memories of it. However, I'll show you this little relic. This was a tiger that I bought For Ellis, actually, this has been resting on his shelf in his living room for 15 years. It's dusty and all, but I saw it over there the other night, and I thought, let me just grab that so I can show it in my video. It's a big one, so you can see how big it is, compared to my hand and all. It's a big, hefty, dramatic looking relic, right? Yeah, the tiger. Anyway, so we finish with the zoo. Come back to the hotel. And that evening we were scheduled to have our dinner cruise on a boat on Lake Erie. Great. Kathy, my director, had taken care of all the arrangements for that. That was fine. In the afternoon, the clouds began to roll in, and it got ugly and gray and threatening looking. And by the time we got on the bus, I don't know, about 5 o'clock. Actually, here it says on the itinerary, 5:15, board the coach for the Nautical Queen cruise, dinner and entertainment. So, okay, we get on the bus. We're going for this dinner cruise, and there's going to be a DJ. And I thought, well, this might be all right. I knew full well that our MR group loved to party, full of life and energy and all that. And I thought this will be great. Well, 6 o'clock we get up to the dock where we are to board the boat, and it's pissing down rain, pouring down rain. Well, that's all right. We can get everybody on the boat. And of course, per usual, I was about the last one on the boat because I, do my thing and make sure everyone's here and everyone's where they're supposed to be. So I get on the boat, and I immediately see a reserved section for our folks on one side of the boat. Tables for dinner and all that on the other side of the boat, which I knew nothing about. I'm assuming Kathy did, but she never clued me in on this. Was an entire other dinner party of people, literally like going right down the boat. We're over here, and there's this entire other party of about 50 or 60 people at their tables and all. You should have seen the look of horror on their faces when they saw our membership loading onto that boat. And I'm sure, it was not an easy thing for them to digest. It wouldn't be an easy thing for anyone to digest, I'm sure. Your average individual does not have uh, even a casual uh, passing relationship with mentally retarded people in their lives. So, these folks were looking over at our 44 MR people boarding the boat, and they were just aghast. Like, they couldn't even believe what was happening. And I couldn't believe it either, because I didn't even know they were going to be there. But it's all well and good. We're all served dinner. We get out on Lake Erie, okay? Boat goes out on Lake Erie on this stormy, rainy night, right? And, it's Lake Erie. It's the freaking Great Lakes, and the boat is tossing and, doing all this. And they're serving dinner, and all that. And our folks are having their dinner. All right. Got my group. I can't have any alcohol, although I was dying. Yeah, I could. If you'd have put a bottle of Jack Daniels in front of me, I would have just started like guzzling out of the thing. So, all right, fine, good. Or gave me a Valium about the size of a hockey puck, right? I would have just chewed that right down. We finish our dinners. All right. And I'm still kind of casting glances over to this other party on the other side of the craft, and they're, again, I guess they thought their dinner was just ruined or whatever by having these 44 mentally retarded people on the boat with them. Well, whatever. All right. The DJ kicks up, right? And it was I don't know anything about boats, but it was this multi-tiered thing. It seemed to have about 4 levels on it. And the DJ was on the level on top of us, so I never did get to talk to the DJ because I was going to tell him, hey man, you had 2 words, Prince Remix. That's all I was interested in, because I'm a dancer, I'm a partier. In my youth, we used to go out clubbing and would just fucking tear up the fucking dance floors till the break of dawn, man. That's how me and my crew rolled, and that's how I still do it to this day. I am a dancer. Anyway, so the DJ kicks up. No one's dancing until a couple of our folks get up. And again, the MR group, they're partiers, man. They're party animals. They're not afraid of this shit. They'll get right out there and just do it. So they get up and they start dancing, and it doesn't take long till there's about 20 people on the dance floor, myself included, because I had some, trust me, I had some energy to blow off, man. So I get up there, and I've got wonderful, wonderful pictures from that night. I wish I would have brought them down. I would have shown you a couple, but I don't have them now, and I'm not going to stop this video. And we're out there dancing and carrying on. All right. And it started to get a little bit weird. I remember looking over at one point, or like right beside me, there was this woman in our group, one of the members. Her name was Patti. We had 2 Patties, actually, and they were best friends. And they were probably both in their 40s at the time. but they were best friends. I always called them Patti Squared. And they have both, both since departed this life. God rest their souls. But I looked over, and one of the Patties had her head stuffed down into a garbage can and was just bringing her supper right back up. I was like, all right, whatever. And I just kept right on rolling, right? I was dancing. I was just like, whatever. 2 minutes later, I turn around on the dance floor, and there's the same girl, Patti, up on the dance floor. And she's just, yeah, man. It was like, yeah, and I knew we were ready to party. I knew it was time to party when I saw that. And slowly but surely, I kept dancing. I mean, I danced. I didn't stop dancing for like literally 3 hours. But again, that's my style. That I go to clubs and dance, and I would just dance and dance and dance and dance and dance. But I'm dancing on this boat, and I'm beginning to realize that it's not just our people on the dance floor anymore. I'm seeing all these people from that other party on the other side of the boat are coming up, and they're hitting the dance floor. An hour later, you couldn't have fit another person on that dance floor. We were so packed in there. It was like we were in some, little dance club in Manhattan or something on the Lower East Side or whatever. Like, it was so, we were just so packed. Our group, their group, everyone just packed on that dance floor and just rocking that boat as if it needed to be rocked anymore in that storm. But we were rocking that boat harder than that damn storm. And I'm not even kidding. We wound the evening down, and it was time to wrap up the cruise. And it was just like a club. The lights came up, the bright lights came up. Oh, ooh, okay, it's time to go. Everywhere I looked, as we were sending our folks off of the boat and down, what's it called, the gangplank or whatever it is, to get on land and to get back on the bus. Everywhere I looked around me, there were people from that other group, and they were just hugging and squeezing. All of our members And it was it was it was it was it, it was one of the most beautiful nights of my life. And I getting very emotional just to recall it, but it was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. And I'll never ever forget it. And I'm proud and I'm privileged to have been a part of that, folks. Okay. All right. I'm all right. I'm all right. Wonderful thing. People taking photographs, and posing with our members, and to go from the looks of horror on their faces at the beginning to 2 hours later, hugs and photos and kisses and just so much warmth and affection. And in the midst of this September the 11th shit, I mean, in the midst of it, of all the confusion and the worry and the doubt and the dread and all right. I've ridden this pony about as far as I'm gonna ride it tonight. But back to the hotel. Everything's fine. Got everybody to sleep. So we could get ready for our final day. Friday, September the 14th. And my God. If I thought the 3 days prior were hard, holy shit, I had no idea what awaited me on Friday, September the 14th, Friday, September the 14th, 2001. All culminating that night at Six Flags over Texas and Cleveland, where there was about 100,000 people. But that's coming in the next video, my friends. My chest pains, me having to remove one of the members out of the park. That's coming next time. Anyway, thanks for sticking with me, friends. Again, I know I got very emotional in this video, but I knew I would. There's just no two ways around it. I hope I still came across as coherent and that you got the story. So, hey, stick around. We'll get back to you again with the last couple of chapters of this saga. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with me, friends. See you later. Bye-bye.